What's up team, Angela Gargano here, and today we're going to talk all things core. So many people come to me and they say they're not seeing the results they want in their midsection. And let me tell you something, I know you think that you have to do a lot of these fancy, crazy moves, but a lot of times you're just missing the basics and you're missing things that are going to really make sure that you are targeting your core and getting a strong foundation. In today's video, we're going to go over 4 moves that you should be adding to your core routines so that you can finally get the core that you've always wanted. And at the end of this video, I have a 7-day free core program to get you started on your goals. Let's get started. So one of the first moves that is super important is something called the tabletop hold. And it doesn't look that fancy, it doesn't look that hard, but let me tell you something, if you are doing it correctly, this is gonna be a game changer, not only in seeing the results you want in your core, but also in all the movements that you do. Because guess what? Your core is actually a part of everything that you do. It's a part of your walking, it's a part of the squats, lunges, everything. You may not think it is, but it is. Let's hop down to the floor and I'm going to show you exactly what this tabletop hold looks like and how to do it properly. I'm also going to show you how you can utilize a band, or you can also utilize a friend in order to make sure that you are doing this properly. Because it's really, again, it's going to look pretty simple and kind of like, oh, she's not doing anything, but you are. So let's lay onto our back. You're going to have your feet, your legs at 90 degrees here, okay? Now I want you to take a look here at my back right now, okay? This is the really important part here. You see this big arch in here, this giant arch in my back? We don't want that. So the biggest thing that we want to make sure we do before doing the tabletop hold is to make sure that our low back is pushing to the ground. So what I like to do is put my hand, if I'm your trainer, I would put my hand underneath your back. I inhale, exhale, and I push that lower back to the ground to really engage that core. So I'm gonna do that one more time just so you can see it. You're gonna arch the back, inhale, exhale, push the low back to the ground. Again, now it's nice and secure the entire time. You shouldn't be able to get your hand underneath it. And if you feel like you're having a hard time knowing if you're doing it correctly, I always tell people to use a band or a towel. And you can do the same thing by putting the band behind your back, inhaling, exhaling, pushing it down, and making sure that you can't tug this band out because you're pushing it down so hard. So I really love this drill. I feel like it's really important in making sure you're doing this correctly. Now, the next piece of this, lower back is pushing to the ground. Your hands are going to be on your knees and your knees are on your hands. Now, I want you to notice here that my elbow is completely straight, okay? So it's not bent out over here and you're not holding on like this. Your elbow's completely straight. And as you're here, you're pushing your hands into your knees and your knees into your hands. So now, low back is pushing down, hands on your knees, knees in your hands. You're going to inhale, exhale, and you're going to hold. That's it. I know it doesn't look like I'm doing anything, right? And maybe you're trying it now, maybe you don't feel like you're doing much, okay? That means that you're not pushing your low back strong enough down to the floor and you're not pushing your knees and your hands and your hands and your knees enough. If I was your trainer, I would come up to you and I would try and rip your hand and your knee apart. And if I could just go like this with it, then you're not pushing hard enough. So you'd hold here. And a good rule of thumb is to be able to do this movement for at least 30 seconds. 30 seconds, and this should be shaking the entire time. Why is this such an important move, okay? This, and another thing to notice here, my head is completely on the ground, right? So some of you might be trying to do this like this, right? I want your head completely on the ground and relaxed. So this way you're actually engaging your core. If you can master this movement right here, when you're standing, when you're doing squats, when you're doing all those different things, your core will stay tight and it will stay in control the entire time, okay? And you won't even notice it, but you have to practice it. Move number 2, okay? You're staying on the ground. We're gonna add a little bit to this movement right here. We're gonna do something called a dead bug, okay? So, same thing here. You're pushing the low back down, hands on your knees into your hands, so you're back in that tabletop position. For the dead bug that we're gonna do today, we're gonna do the same arm and the same leg. You're gonna maintain this core push. You're gonna extend the same arm and the same leg out while keeping this push down, and then bring it back in, switch to the other side. What is this doing? Why is this so important? If you're able to maintain your core position while now using your legs actively, right? Again, this will translate into all different movements that you're doing. So try a few of these here. If you're watching this video, it's great to watch it, but it's also great to try it out, right? Try it out. If your hips popping while you're doing this, that means that you're probably not pushing your low back down enough. And it's gonna take some time to really master that, so just know that when you're doing this move. The next movement we're going to do is we're actually going to roll around and we're going to do a bear hold. So that movement we just did, think about what it looks like, right? This bear hold is the same movement, it's just flipped around. Okay, so we're just doing it in a different way. So what you're gonna do is get onto your hands and your knees, tuck your toes under, push evenly onto your hands and make sure your shoulders are directly over that wrist, okay? You're gonna take your back and just like you did on the floor, pretend this is the floor right now, but now it's the air. You're gonna inhale, exhale, push the low back to the air. Hold, and then we're gonna hover our knees above the ground. While you're hovering, push the knees out and hold. Okay, this is the next movement that is awesome for your core that you may not be thinking of or you may not be doing right now. But again, you don't want to be doing this bear hold like this, right? Because that means your back is arched and you're not maintaining that core position. We want to make sure we're pushing that back up to the air so that it's keeping this nice and tight the entire time. These small cues are really, really important. And this movement, you can do all sorts of things with it, right? You can do the bear hold with your knees out. Maybe you start to get a little comfortable with it and you can do opposite hand, opposite leg lifts while maintaining that core. Or maybe you can even start with walks, side to side. All this stuff is gonna be something that's gonna really help improve, again, not only see the results in the core, but again, to really make sure that you have that strong foundation so you can do all these different movements, so that you can stand properly and not feel any kind of low back pain. Simple, but effective. The last one we're gonna do is actually on our feet, okay? So we're actually gonna stand on up, and we're gonna do something called a single leg stand. Another movement that you're probably like, really? We're gonna stand on one leg. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly what we're gonna do. You're gonna have your hands on your hips. You're gonna bring your knee up to your belly, keep it at 90 degrees, hold. Keep the chest up nice and tall. Maintain this core balance here. Lift up nice and tall, don't hunch. And you're just gonna hold. Believe it or not, this movement is truly working your core, okay? Holding, it's working on your balance. Switch to the other side, you'll try the same thing. And maybe you're feeling really good with this. Maybe you're standing up nice and tall, you're like, hell yeah. Or maybe you're standing up like this right now and you have to tap your leg constantly. Okay, that's okay. It's gonna take some time to get used to, okay? Or maybe, again, it's super easy and you try it with your eyes closed. Ooh, super crazy when you close your eyes, everything kind of falls apart a little bit, right? Again, this is a great movement to help you really create that strong core. And it may be things that you haven't been doing before. I know it can be tough to just want to do a bunch of all the fancy things you see on Instagram because someone has like a six-pack, right? But this is the stuff where you're actually going to see results and you're going to feel results. Now, can you do these moves in one day and have the magical six-pack that you wanted and feel amazing and all that stuff like that? No, you need to be consistent with this. So these are moves that I would recommend you do at the beginning of your workout. And what I always tell my clients is this is that core activation to get you prepped for your movement that you're gonna be doing that day. So I would do these movements maybe 30 seconds a piece and repeat it 3 times before you actually get into your workout. And if you do that consistently, you will notice that you'll be standing taller, right? You'll feeling more proud with what you're doing. All your movements are gonna feel a lot easier, and you're gonna slowly start to see that core that you've always been wanting. Now, hope this was really helpful for you. I have a 7-day free core program that you can actually down below, click the link and you can go grab it. You can start right away. It's 7 days of full videos. I walk you through everything so that you know exactly what to do. And so many people use this program and they repeat it over and over again because they're seeing such amazing results and they're actually feeling their core in the right ways. We go over not just these 4 movements, but so much more within those 7 days. So hope this was helpful for you. I can't wait for you to finally see the results in the core that you've been looking for, and I will see you all again. Do not forget to like and subscribe on this video. There is more to come.